morning, welcome back to another weekly vlog. The nice sunny warm weather seems to have disappeared. I mean, actually, to be fair, it's still sunny, but it's a lot colder. I'm back in a jumper today. It's also really windy. I got woken up in the night and literally felt like we were going to be blown away. It was so loud. I just thought, like, what on earth's going on? I didn't think it was meant to be this windy. But yeah, I'm quite cold this morning. I didn't have the most restful sleep last night. I seem to have like really stressful dreams. Like I had this one, I won't go into it too much because, you know, people don't really want to hear about my dreams, but I had this one where like I went to university and we were in like dorms, like with loads of other people. It was really weird. Anyway, I was in my dream, I was trying to sort out my medication, and first of all I got moved out of my room and no one had told me, and they'd like scattered my like medication everywhere and then I couldn't find it. And then in the second room I was in, someone else had like lifted up my duvet cover and all the medication had gone everywhere. So I was getting all stressed out about that in my dream. And then I was like, in my dream I really needed the toilet, but I couldn't find one, and I had to keep going through like these mazes and stuff to try and find a toilet, and I just couldn't find it, and I was getting more and more stressed out in my dream that I couldn't find the bloody toilet. And then I woke up and I was like, okay, I actually need the loo. And I don't know if anyone else gets this, and it's a bit too much information really, but I tend to wake up in the night because I need the loo, and pretty much every time I will have been having a dream that involves like trying to get to a toilet or something and like not being able to. And I don't know if that's my body's way of telling me to wake up because I need to go to the loo, but I've noticed it recently. It never used to happen, and it's only been more recent that I will always dream about not being able to get to a toilet, and it's just really weird. I mean, it's a good way of waking myself up, because I just get to a point in my dream, I don't know whether it's I've become a bit more like conscious, and I just get to a point in my dream where I'm like, hang on a minute, I just need to wake up and go to the toilet and then I'll be fine. But yeah, last night I don't know, my dreams were just really stressful, and I woke up, and like when I woke up to go to the loo and it was windy and I just felt so stressed out, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm meant to be relaxing, not stressing out when I'm asleep. So yeah, I don't feel massively rested today. Oh, it's probably why I keep yawning. I've had a fairly quiet morning so far. I mean, technically it's a bank holiday because it's Easter Monday, so I could just be chilling out, but I'm actually going to do some editing for a video because I've got a few things on this week and I want to kind of make sure I've got time to get stuff done. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do this morning, is to edit one of the videos that I filmed last week. I have this candle and it is just not burning properly. I spoke about it in last week's vlog. It's from HomeSense, and I guess it's meant to be like a dupe for Jo Malone. It's an Olivia Blake one, but it's just not, it doesn't burn properly. Like it just goes down in the middle. I can't remember what the word for that is. And several times I've had to like pour the wax out because the wax is just putting the candle out because of the way it's just going. I think it's called tunneling. It like tunnels down in the middle, and like the wax around the candle isn't burning. I don't know if it's just the way the candle's made. I mean, they're not massively expensive, these ones. They're from HomeSense, but it's just really annoying because I don't know how to get it to burn properly. But yeah, it's not looking great. Hello Rebecca, how are you? Yeah, it's really annoying. The Bath and Body Works ones, I haven't had any problems with them tunneling, but these ones do.
This is a cheap one.
It's from HomeSense, so that might be it. Anyway, I'm going to get on with doing some editing. I've got my virtual mental health group this evening. We're meant to be having a barbecue as well, but well, we are going to have a barbecue because that's what we've got like food wise for dinner. but we didn't really plan this very well. Like last night we had stew and it was quite warm and sunny, and then today we're having a barbecue and it's windy and it's cold, and I think we maybe should have done it the other way around, but never mind, that's how it's been happening. So I managed to get a bit of editing done this morning, pretty much edited one of the videos. I just need to try and find a few cutaways for it. It's a wheelchair tag, so I'm trying to kind of, well, I need to go back through some of my footage and see if I've got any footage of me in my chair. I don't think I've got that much because I tend to like film like this, so you don't really see much, but I might have the odd bit, so I need to have a look and just see what I can add to it. I've had some lunch. Freddie, he seems to be making some very strange noises down there. Yeah, I've had some lunch. Are you going to start barking out the window now? Just people going for a walk. It's okay. And yeah, now I'm on the sofa. It's definitely colder today. I'm really chilly, so I've got my blanket over me. My leg seems to be quite painful today. I think this seems to be the problem because yesterday I did some physio exercises, and I tend to find, like, I'll do the physio exercises and then my knee especially will swell up and my whole leg will be like really painful, like even more painful than usual, and swollen, and then that makes it quite hard to do anything. So I struggle to do the physio exercises while it kind of goes down, and then I'll do the physio exercises again and then it'll swell up again and be more painful, and it'll just kind of go round and round in a circle. So yeah, it's frustrating at the moment. I feel a bit anxious about this week. I think because tomorrow I've got to go out, I've got to leave the house, and I've got to go down to the doctor's to have an ECG, and I feel quite nervous about doing that. I haven't left the house, I don't know, for like 3 weeks or something now, I can't remember. And I'm just, yeah, I'm a bit anxious about going. The surgery that I go to it's been like split apparently, so there's like a hot zone and a cold zone. Hot zone is for like suspected COVID-19 patients, and the cold zone is for people with other issues. So I'll go into the cold zone, but I don't know, I feel quite anxious about going out and like, I don't know, being near other people and stuff, but it needs to be done. So I'm anxious about that, and then I've also got 2 phone appointments at the end of the week. So on Thursday I've got a phone appointment with my gastro professor. Both of these were meant to be up in London, like in person. So yeah, I've got an appointment with the gastro professor on Thursday, and then on Friday I've got an appointment with my leg surgeon. And I don't know, I get anxious about like medical appointments anyway, just because of what they are, I suppose. But I seem to get more anxious when they're on the phone. I don't know, I'm not very good on the phone. I don't know, I struggle. Like, I'm better than I was. Like, I will answer it now and I will make phone calls. It used to be at a point where my anxiety was so bad I couldn't do any of that, and I had to like ask for help to do that. But I will generally do it now, but I still find it really hard. Which I know it sounds really stupid because I'm like, it's just a phone, but I don't know, there's something about it. I find it really hard not being able to see somebody's face. I don't know if I just rely a lot on like facial expressions and facial cues and things like that. But yeah, I really struggle with the phone, and I feel constantly anxious about like what I'm going to say and whether my words are going to get muddled up. And I don't really get that with like, if I'm talking to someone in person, I don't get that. It's just when I'm on the phone. So I'm a bit anxious about that, but I think I'm just more anxious about the actual appointments. So the one with the gastro professor on Thursday is for my swallowing. I mean, I've been under him for years. He was the one that kind of diagnosed me with my EDS originally, and did all the tests to diagnose with like the gastroparesis and everything. So he's like a great doctor, and I owe him a lot. But what I've been seeing him for recently, well, the last couple of years probably now, is swallowing problems and like finding it difficult to swallow. So it's just an appointment for that, and to kind of go over the tests. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, to go over the tests that I've had done. So I'm a bit nervous about kind of what he's going to say and what his kind of conclusion is going to be about the tests and stuff like that. And then the Friday one is obviously with my leg surgeon, and I'm really nervous about that because I just don't really know what he's going to say. I don't know how much he's going to be able to do over the phone, and yeah, I'm just really anxious about that. So I don't know, this week is just, yeah, making me quite anxious. Anyway, I'm gonna have a bit of a nap now because, as you can probably tell, I'm quite tired. I just don't think I slept very well last night, plus chronic illness in general. And then I've got my virtual mental health meeting at 7. So yeah, be interested to see if Zoom kicks us off after 40 minutes this time, or whether it lets us stay on. Who knows? It's a bit like a roulette. So there's someone at the door. I think it might be Mummy. Freddie's like ears are like pricked up, like who is it? So yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of a lie down now and a bit of a sleep, and then hopefully I should be semi-awake for the mental health group.
1, 2, 3. I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go.
What's he doing to you? He's like, I just don't understand this. He's a cat, he's not meant to like me. Cats aren't meant to boop dogs on the nose. Boop. On the bum. Good morning. I don't think I've been up this early for quite a while. But yeah, I was up early this morning because I have got a virtual council meeting at 10:45. It starts at 11, but we have to be logged in by 10:45. So yeah, I needed to make sure I was up and dressed and ready for that. So I've had my breakfast and I'm dressed. So I'm just on the sofa now. I'm going to get my laptop out and try and log in, and hopefully it'll work. I don't know how long that council meeting is going to go on for, but I think I'm going to have to duck out at about 11:45 because I've got to go down to the doctor's for an ECG at 12. So yeah, feeling a bit nervous about doing that and going out, but it'll also be quite nice to leave the house, even if it is just to go down to the doctor's for an ECG. But yeah, it's going to be strange. Like, I haven't been out of the house apart from into the garden, well, since I went for my last physio session, which was 3 weeks ago, I think. So yeah, it's going to be strange, a bit nervous, but that's the plan for today. So I'm going to get this meeting done first and then get myself ready, and I think my dad's going to take me down because obviously I can't drive, so I need someone to take me down, and then he'll wait in the car while I go in because obviously they're kind of trying to limit the amount of people that go in. So, and I can probably just about hobble in and do it without any help. So yeah, that's the plan. And then this afternoon I will probably end up having a nap, and then I want to try and just get some bits and bobs done downstairs. I've got this frame of Maisie's first year, which I really want to stick the photos in. I've got emails to do and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, kind of going to focus on that sort of thing today. But first of all, I need to get logged into this meeting. Right, I'm outside in the car. Well, okay, we're technically inside the car.
My rainbow.
Rebecca's just about to drive over her rainbow on the drive. I haven't been in a car for 3 weeks. It feels very strange, but yeah, I've just finished the council meeting. I had to duck out early in the end because we had problems starting, so it took quite a long time to start, but that was okay. And now Rebecca is going to take me down to the doctor's to have my ECG, so I'm going to try and appreciate being outside and looking for Blossom.
Oh, there's a good one. Okay, I'll take you until there's a good one on the way back.
It's not going to get out of the way, is it?
No, it's on the way home.
Okay.
It's in Yateley.
Right, okay, anyway. So yes, she's going to take me down to the doctor's. She's going to wait outside in the car. I will go in and try not to break the ECG machine again, and then we'll come home.
Going for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take
There she goes. Off into the medical centre. She doesn't know that I've got her camera. She's not a hot patient, so that's alright. She's a nice cold one. Bye bye! Little hop along.
Right, I'm out again. That took
40-50 minutes?
40 or 50 minutes. It's because, I mean, I wasn't seen like on time. I think they were running.
Bloody patients!
No, there was very few people there today.
The amount of people that got confused by that hot zone sign. That's quite funny.
So yeah, I think I didn't get seen until like half past, and my appointment was at 20 past. And then I did my ECG and also blood pressure lying and standing. Had a good chat with the healthcare assistant that does it as well, because I haven't seen her for ages, and she was asking, it was Annie, asking how we were and how my mum was and everything. But yeah, used my hand gel that Rebecca got me with the little Bath and Body Works one.
That person got their money back. If not, I want it.
Yeah, Rebecca found £80 on the floor outside our little like Tesco Express, and obviously handed it back in.
Let's hope no one did.
It's interesting to know like whether anyone actually picks it up. Anyway, we are heading home now. I've like anti-backed my hands again, but I'm gonna have a good wash when we get in. They all had like masks on and everything, so they were kind of, you know, taking precautions, but just want to make sure that I'm nice and clean.
Can you strip yourself, please? Disinfect, please. Actually, I should have got you tonight before you got my car.
Yeah, but yeah, we're heading home now. Okay, so this is our way home, and just up on the right here there are some, hopefully, as usually are at this time of year, some very pretty blossom trees. Yay! Oh, they're so nice.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth.
So it's quite a while later now. I've been back for quite a while from the doctor's. Had lunch when I got back, and I've been having quite a long nap actually this afternoon. So obviously needed that. But I'm awake now, and I'm going to finally start filling in this frame for Maisie's first year. I've got some of the photos printed out. I need to get some more printed out because she's got older since I printed the last ones out. but I'm going to do what I've got and stick them all on, and then we can actually put the frame out next to Noah's one. So yeah, I'm going to finally get on with that because I've been meaning to do it for ages.
I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
Good morning. I'm not getting on very well today. I woke up quite late, and after I'd had my breakfast, my mum and dad were having a social distancing coffee morning. So basically, with a couple of our other neighbours, we were like, they'd gone and sat like on our drive, and then the neighbours had kind of sat on their drives, way more than like the 2 meters apart and stuff, and they'd all kind of taken their own coffee out and stuff, and they were sort of having a chat across the road, which was quite nice. So after I'd had my breakfast, I went out and ended up joining them for a bit, and it was quite nice just to talk to somebody different. So yeah, that ended up taking up like quite a bit of time, but I think it was a nice thing to do. So yeah, I'm dressed and everything now because I went out there in my pyjamas. It's quite a nice day, but it was quite chilly in the shade, but apparently in the sun it's a lot warmer. But yeah, I'm in my office now. I want to try and get this video finished today so that I can get it, well, I need to get it exported and then I need to get it uploaded, but it's not going up until Sunday because it's a tag with Jem from Wheels No Heels, and she wants them all to go up at the same time. So I want to get it up and kind of scheduled so that it goes up at the right time. And then I can start on my weekly vlog. So the videos are going to be back to front this week, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's my plan for before lunch, and then I don't really have any other plans at the moment. I'm just going to kind of see how I go. I managed to fill in the frame yesterday that I was showing you. So I've stuck photos, well, I've stuck all the photos in that I had printed out, and I think that goes up to 6 months. I mean, Maisie's 9 months now, so I need to do 3 more photos. And we've also got, I think we've got one other frame to do for my grandma, so I need to print out photos for that one. And I think, I don't know whether my mum's got the frame or whether she's just thinking of getting one for another relative, so I need to do that one at some point as well. But we've got ours done and it's up finally, so that's nice. And yeah, I'm glad I managed to do that yesterday because it's been sitting like by where I sit on the sofa for ages waiting for me to do it. So I managed to get that done yesterday, which was quite good. I need to reply to some messages, like emails and text messages and Facebook messages and things like that, and comments as well. I just don't know where the time's going at the moment. I don't know if anyone else is finding this, but supposedly we've got more time, but I'm not finding that at the moment. I don't know whether I'm just wasting more time or whether I'm sleeping more or just finding it harder to kind of concentrate and get motivated. But yeah, I just don't feel like I'm getting as much done, which is kind of frustrating when you kind of feel like, oh, I should be making like the most of this time and doing stuff that I wouldn't normally be able to do, and then I kind of think, actually, I'm just trying to get through it at the moment. Excuse me, at the moment. So if that's all I can do one day, then that's fine. Right, so I managed to get my editing done this morning, so that video has now exported and I just need to put it up on my channel to be scheduled to go up on Sunday. I've just had some lunch and now I am going to refill my sweet / pick and mix box. I can't remember whether I've spoken about this in my vlogs before, but basically I have a Tupperware box which is currently empty, and usually I just buy like sweets that I like. So I've got some little rhubarb custards, I've got a hell of a lot of Percy Pigs, various other things, and then I just fill up the box with them. I started doing it, I think it was like when I fancied a pick and mix at one point and couldn't go and get one, and so I bought some sweets and thought it would just be a good idea to put a load of sweets in a box, and then if I fancy a few sweets then I've got a box full that I can just kind of have a pick and mix out of, and I've just carried on doing that because sometimes like in the evening like I don't really fancy like a snack as such, but I fancy just a few sweets with a cup of tea. So yeah, that's what I do, and I haven't filled this up since before my operation because I just haven't got around to doing it, and I haven't really been eating sweets that much, but I've still got quite a backlog of sweets, so I'm going to fill this up now. Sorry, Mum's washing the floor. Yeah, I'm going to fill this up now and then I can actually start using it again and using up some of my stock.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations, oh. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong, I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost, no, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever.
This little man has just had his bath. He went for a nice long walk earlier with Becca, but he was much in need of a bath. Did you enjoy your bath, Fred?
He did not.
No, he's not a fan of the baths. You're not a fan of the baths, are you, baby? They look nice and clean.
Just see the colour of the bath.
Ugh.
That's manky.
Freddie.
Right.
That means you must be nice and warm, nice and clean and sparkly now.
Fine,
Oh, look at you.
that means I've got a nice cleaning job to do, doesn't it? No, it's fine, I'll do it.
His little wet beard. Oh, you gorgeous boy, Fred. Fred. So I'm too interested in watching what Mummy's doing out the window.
Don't burp in my face.
So Freddie is currently going absolutely bonkers. He's just like running up, well, he's just running around the house and doing like somersaults on the sofa and everything. He's not a fan of baths and he doesn't have one that often, but he needed one, so he's had one. I've just woken up from a nap. Before I had my nap, I went outside for a little bit and just sat in the garden, which was quite nice. I wasn't out there for very long, but it was nice just being out in the sunshine. It was like a lot warmer in the sunshine actually than it was this morning when I was out in the shade. And I don't know, it's quite quiet. Like, it was nice listening to the birds, and there was so many bees out there, like different types of bee. I'm sort of watching them like buzzing around the flowers and stuff. I mean, it's not where it is quite where we are, but because we're back onto the woods, you get quite a lot of people like walking past, so you kind of hear obviously like the conversations of people going up and down the woods. But apart from that, it's really nice, and yeah, blue skies, sun, blossom on the tree. Just, yeah, I feel very, very lucky to have a garden at the moment. I can't imagine how difficult it must be. I mean, to be fair, this is like the first proper time I've been out in the garden. But I can't imagine how difficult it must be for people who haven't got outside space, and especially if they've got kids and they, you know, haven't necessarily got a lot of room indoors. It must be really difficult at the moment. So I do feel very lucky that we've got that space and just somewhere else to sit. So yeah, it was nice. I want to try and like do that a little bit more, although I think it's going to rain on Friday and Saturday, but hopefully it'll kind of brighten up again after that. I'm still looking. I need to look to try and find a like lounger type thing. We've got like this garden furniture, which is like a sofa type, like a corner sofa. So technically I can like sit in the corner and like get my leg up on there, but that's not ideal. Like if more people kind of want to come and sit out, that's not ideal, that I'm kind of taking up half the sofa. So I'm still trying to have a look, but I didn't realise how expensive like sun loungers are, like nice sun loungers anyway. So I need to have a little look around and just see what there is. But yeah, no, it's nice in the garden. We've got a few flowers, but haven't kind of been able to get many to sort of plant out there or anything yet, just because of the situation. Although I think some garden centres are doing like deliveries and stuff, but I don't think it's kind of, we wouldn't normally buy like bedding plants yet, it's a bit early. But yeah, no, it was really nice sitting out in the garden, and I've had a nice little nap, and now I'm watching Emmerdale on Coronation Street, and then I might catch up on, I've been watching Liar, which came out a little while ago now, but I recorded it and hadn't seen it yet, so I've been catching up on that. So I've watched 2 episodes so far, although I watched Gogglebox last week and I think it exposed who the killer was, and I was like, oh, crap. So I've kind of spoiled the ending for myself, but I'm still going to watch it. Anyway, Coronation Street is just about to come on, so I'm going to watch that and just have a relaxed evening.
Good morning. It is a bit of a cloudy day today. It started off sunny, but it's getting cloudier. I thought it wasn't meant to rain until tomorrow, but it's kind of looking a little bit overcast, and I'm starting to wonder whether wearing a thinner jumper was actually a good idea. Please excuse if you can hear drilling. My dad's doing some sort of DIY, I'm not sure what. But yeah, I'm slightly later this morning than I normally am. I had to do a couple of bits after breakfast. First of all, I wanted to look in the freezer with my mum, because we're trying to eat stuff up from the freezer, kind of using this, sorry, my top's got one of those little, I can't think what they're called, the things you used to hang them up, and it's annoying me. Yeah, we're kind of using this as a good opportunity to kind of go through the whole freezer, see what we've got and eat stuff up. So Mum and I had a look through, I don't know what was going on with my phone. Mum and I had a look through the freezer, and I've kind of worked out a couple of meals for today and tomorrow, so that's good. And then I needed to print out a medication list, because I've got an appointment later that I need to make sure I've got like stuff ready for. And then yeah, I went up to get dressed and my phone rang. It said no caller ID, and I was like, do I answer it? I thought I will, because I'm expecting a call later anyway, and I was like, maybe they're ringing early. But it was my physio, and she said, like, when I last saw her in person, she said that she would try and ring whenever she could, just to kind of see how I was getting on. So yeah, she said that she'd kind of got a quiet moment and she'd gone back to the department, and so she was trying to ring a few people just to see like how we were getting on. So that was quite nice to hear from her. I didn't really have anything to update her on, because my appointment with my surgeon isn't until tomorrow. So she said to me that once I've had the appointment with my surgeon, if I leave a message on their answer phone to kind of just let her know what he said, then she'll give me a ring back at some point and she can have a chat about it with me. But yeah, no, she was just asking how I was doing and just a bit of a catch up really, so that was quite nice. So yeah, now I'm here and I want to try and get a little bit of editing done of a weekly vlog in the next, I haven't got that long, 40 minutes, and then I need to go down and get some lunch, and then my gastro professor is ringing at just before 3, I think, which I'm getting ridiculously nervous about, and I don't know why. I do this every time, like especially with phone appointments, I just get myself really like worked up, but like I know exactly what I need to talk to him about. We're still talking about my swallowing because that's kind of what I got referred back to him for, and I've had the tests that he kind of requested now, so I guess we just need to discuss the tests and kind of whether there's a diagnosis that comes from them or a management plan, or whether there's something else I need to do. So that's what I need to discuss. And I also need to ask him, so I take a medication called ranitidine, which is, I kind of take it for 2 things. It's one because I have quite bad like reflux and it helps with that, but it also helps to stabilise mast cells, which helps with my mast cell activation disorder. And basically ranitidine, there have been a lot of production problems and issues with like contaminated tablets and things like that, so it's been quite difficult to get hold of, and we don't kind of know whether it's going to keep getting produced or whether they're going to have to stop producing it. So basically I need his advice on like what alternative I can use, because my GP just wasn't really sure and my local gastro didn't really know either, so I need to ask him if he's got any ideas. So yeah, I've got that written down on my like bit of paper, and hopefully it'll go all right. So yeah, I've got that a bit later, and that's about it today. I'm guessing it's Thursday today, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll do the clap again this evening at 8 o'clock, and yeah, that's pretty much my plans for today. So I'm going to try and get on with this editing now, just so that I can hopefully get a reasonable amount done before I have to go down and have some lunch. Right, please excuse me sitting on the stairs and the light not being great. My sister's watching TV in the lounge and my dad's reading in the kitchen, so I didn't want to disturb either of them, and the other 2 rooms there's just nowhere to sit. So I thought I'd come and sit on the stairs and talk to you. Did a bit of editing this morning, although I was really struggling to concentrate. I think just because I was getting myself in a bit of a state about my phone appointment. So I came downstairs and then started getting lunch and stuff, and then they rang, I don't know, about 20-25 minutes late, which wasn't a problem. So it was meant to be with my professor, gastroenterology professor, but when I answered the phone it was a lady's voice, so I was like, this isn't my gastro professor, and like immediately I felt quite nervous because I was like, oh no, like who is it? Just because I know the professor and I know that he's good, and you know, I owe him a lot considering he has kind of diagnosed me with various things and taken me seriously, so I was a bit nervous, and then the lady kind of said her name and I did recognise it. I don't think I've seen her before, I'm not sure, I may have seen her once, and basically the professor is not doing NHS patients at the moment. I think he's on sabbatical from what I've heard. So yeah, this consultant rang me that kind of works with his team, and she was very like up to speed and knew kind of what you know, was happening and what had been done. So she talked through the results of my esophageal manometry again, which is the one where they put the tube up my nose and down into my stomach to measure kind of like pressure and stuff. I already knew the results of that, but she went through it again, and then I told her that I had had the barium swallow and basically it had shown that I have reflux, but it hadn't shown kind of any obstructions or anything like that. And then she kind of wanted to know like all the medications I was on, so that took quite a while. She says that like the tests haven't really given like a diagnosis as such. Like they've highlighted problems. So the esophageal manometry highlighted an increase in pressure in like a certain part of the esophagus. I can't remember exactly what it is, to do with a valve or something, and obviously like the barium swallow showed the reflux, but they're kind of like symptoms, they're not a diagnosis. So she says we kind of like need to do some trial and error things to just see if we can work out what is actually causing it. So she said it could be reflux, although I'm on quite high doses of medications for reflux, I'm still getting it. And also with having like gastroparesis and delayed gastric emptying, where my stomach doesn't empty properly because you've got a lot more stuff in your stomach, that kind of exacerbates the reflux as well. Because I'm already on like medications for the reflux, she did wonder whether there was some sort of like mast cell problems kind of contributing to it as well. She wants me to initially try, now I can't remember what she called it, it's sodium something or other, I don't know, I can't remember the name, I'd need to see it written down. So I've got to try that for a month. If it does make a difference, then that's great, carry on. If that doesn't make a difference, then I'll stop. And then she said we could try something for the gastroparesis to try and help my stomach empty a bit better. I've already tried metoclopramide and I don't get on well with that. So she said we could try domperidone. I think that's kind of where we got to. She says by the time you've kind of done all of that, hopefully I'll be like talking to them again so we can see how things are going. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. She's making me another appointment for about 9 months' time. She said ordinarily it would have been sooner, but because of the coronavirus, everything's kind of put back. So that's just how it's going to be. But hopefully by that point I will have kind of tried the different medications and we'll see if any of them work, and if they don't, then we'll try something else. So yeah, I feel like we've got a bit of a plan, we've got some different things to try, and we'll just kind of see how it goes really. But yeah, I'd got myself so nervous about it, so now I feel a bit more relaxed, although I'm still now nervous about tomorrow's appointment. But yeah, let's just get through today. So I've had my lunch and I'm now going to go and crash out on the sofa for a bit because I think I've worn myself out with anxiety. So I've had a bit of a nap and feel a little bit more rested now. Going to go out and do the clap for carers in about 10 minutes. So yeah, I had in mind that there was something I was going to come on here and say, and I can't remember what it was. I finished my antibiotics today, thankfully. However, I can't remember whether I said it was for cellulitis or not, but the cellulitis in my foot or feet has kind of, I would say it looks a little bit better, but it's definitely not gone. So yeah, not really sure what the next step's going to be, whether it's going to be more antibiotics. But I guess I'll have to do another e-consult. I don't know whether to like leave it for a few days and see if it kind of improved anymore, or whether to do the e-consult before the weekend. Just because I know that cellulitis can get quite bad quite quickly, although mine has seemed to be more slow. So I don't know, I'll see. Yeah, anyway, I need to go to the loo before I go outside, so I'm going to do that. It's dry again, so we've been quite lucky with claps so far, that every week I think it's been dry, which is me now jinxing it to be raining next week. But anyway, I'm going to go to the loo and then hop outside on my crutches, ready to do another clap. Good afternoon. It's a lot later than I would normally be starting my vlogs. It's just been a bit of a manic morning, to be honest. Yeah, I got up reasonably early because I was due to have a phone appointment with my leg surgeon. He rang about half an hour after my appointment time. So I had the appointment with him. That went okay. He would ideally need to see me, to be honest. He needs to examine me, which just isn't possible at the moment because going up to London just isn't an option at the moment. He said that the actual operation shouldn't be affecting my knee because the break is like quite up near my hip. It shouldn't be having like an effect on the knee, but obviously, I mean, he's hoping that it's healing okay, but without you know, x-rays and stuff, he doesn't know. He said that I've got a couple of screws like down the lower end of my femur, which are kind of near the knee, but he said that he didn't think they should be causing so much like pain and swelling and everything. He says they can irritate you and stuff like that, but he's doubtful that it's kind of that's causing the problems, although he did say you know, once things are healed with regards to the operation, they can look at taking things out to see if that helps. But he said that his kind of gut feeling is probably that it's the rotation that's causing the issues. So basically, because they've rotated my femur, my knee and my lower leg are now out of alignment, and he thinks that it's that's kind of causing all the problems, which we were told could happen before I had the operation. But he needs to really look at it and see. However, he says the first thing he wants to do is get some x-rays, because one, he wants to check that my bone is like healing back together again in my femur, and obviously make sure that it's not displaced, it's not doing anything funny that it's not meant to be doing. And also he wants to have a light look at inside my knee and check that there's nothing like bone wise or anything going on that would be making giving me all these problems. Obviously doesn't want me to go up to London to get those x-rays because one, the hospital is, you know, very busy with coronavirus, and two, it's not safe for me to go up there. So he's going to contact my GP to see whether she can find somewhere locally that would do the x-rays for me. I mean, ordinarily, like, there are plenty of places locally that you would go to for an x-ray. At the moment, we don't know, so that's why he's going to contact my GP and just see if there's somewhere locally I can go to get these x-rays done, and then they'll get sent back up to him so he can review them. And then he wants to get me back in the system for an appointment as soon as possible, and ideally get me up for that appointment to see me, but it is just going to depend on what's happening, and you can't really plan at the moment because things are just changing every day. So that went okay. Went off and had my breakfast, or started having my breakfast, and then I'd nearly finished my breakfast and the phone rang again, and my mum picked it up because I can't get up to the phone in time at the moment. And it was Adult Social Services, and basically, I can't remember if I spoke about this in a vlog a bit back. Basically, we had contacted them a while ago now, just saying, was there anything they could do, you know, to help, because like my care needs had kind of increased and it was getting quite difficult for like my mum and dad to meet those needs, and also we were really worried, you know, if they got ill and, you know, what would happen to me, and also they just don't have any opportunity to have any kind of respite. So yeah, we contacted them quite a while ago now, and they had sort of said they'd gone through some questions and said that, you know, that we would hear from them in due course, with someone, you know, coming to the house to do an assessment. And then when the coronavirus all sort of kicked off, I just assumed that it would all be put on hold. But yeah, out of the blue today, we got a phone call from someone, lovely lady that works there, and she said, would you be okay to do the assessment over the phone now? So I was like, yeah, we can do that. I'm not really doing anything. I was trying to eat my breakfast, but you know, we'll go for it. So yeah, I spent quite a while on the phone to her, going through loads of questions. She asked all about my different health problems, medications, what my parents, all the different sort of care things that my parents do for me, all the things that I find really difficult to do. It's a difficult, I always find that kind of thing difficult, because you're kind of having to focus on all the things that you can't do and the things that you struggle with and the things that are wrong with you, and it can be quite depressing, I suppose, but necessary. She said to me, she was like, I don't understand how you've been like carrying on for so long without any help. And I just said to her, I was like, well, you know, things just kind of gradually get worse over time, and you just muddle along, you kind of learn to adapt, you work out ways to manage problems, and it's only, I don't know, you kind of sometimes think along the line, do we need help? And then you kind of think, well, no, I don't, you know, I'm not bad enough to need help. I don't, you know, there's other people that should be getting it more, and you just don't ask, do you? And then, I don't know, there's often like, I guess, a straw that kind of breaks the camel's back a bit, and I think that was my dad being unwell when he got the pneumonia and just was not good, really. And all of a sudden, I think we all just realised that, one, there's a lot of pressure being put on my mum and dad, and it is a lot for them to take on, and two, we just have absolutely no backup plan if they're unable to kind of look after me or help me. So that was kind of what triggered us asking, I think, in the first place. So yeah, quite a lot came out of that phone call. She thinks that I would do well with having some carers. So she said carers every morning to come in for half an hour, and then twice a week in the evenings to help with like having a shower and stuff, which I'm both terrified about and slightly relieved. Terrified in that it's going to be very strange having strangers come into my house to do kind of that kind of personal care with me, but also hopefully it will take pressure off my parents, and yeah, I think it's necessary. So yeah, she's going to look into applying for funding for that. I'll need to have a financial assessment, because they need to kind of work out how much they pay, whether I pay anything, all that kind of stuff. She's going to refer me to an occupational therapy team, because she thinks that there are things that they might be able to do to kind of make the house more accessible for me, so to make showering more accessible, to possibly make my bathroom more accessible, the kitchen, all that kind of stuff. So that would be really good. Oh, she said that she advised that we ring, I think they're called the Princess Royal Care Trust, because she asked if we had like an emergency plan for if my parents couldn't look after me, and I was like, no. So she said to give them a ring and they can come up with this emergency plan for you. So we need to do that. She is going to refer me or sort out getting a proper like falls alarm. So at the moment I wear this, which you've probably seen me wear around my neck quite a lot. This is just something we bought off Amazon. We have a little box downstairs, and if I press it, it makes a noise. So if I fall or slip or hurt myself or whatever, I can press that and someone in the house should hear it. It's a bit temperamental. Sometimes it gets put on silent. I don't know if that's on purpose or by accident. But she's going to sort out getting like a proper one, so one that connects to like a call centre type place, so you can actually talk to somebody. So if my parents are out of the house and I need help, I can press it and speak to somebody, and they can either call an ambulance or they can contact my parents and say that I am lying on the floor and I need help. I think that was about it. There was a lot of information to take in, so I'm still kind of mulling it over in my head, but that was mainly it. So by the time all that had happened, I was exhausted. But yeah, got dressed and I've been doing some video editing for the rest of this morning, and I'm now going to go and get some lunch because it's getting on and I'm getting hungry.
This cat doesn't half enjoy sleep. Oh. Just find him in all sorts of funny positions. Just a minute ago he was like on his back with his legs in the air, fast asleep. And then he kind of had his little arm over his face and he was fast asleep. He's just well and truly comfortable. It is a right miserable day out there today. It's raining and it's cold and the rainbow's gone. So the rainbow that Becca and Rosie had been doing on the end of the drive has disappeared. And to counteract the rain, I thought I would show you some nice flowers. So these were the flowers that I got my mum for Easter from Bunches, which is where I get most of my flowers from these days. They kind of, when I ordered them, they couldn't come in time for Easter, so they came yesterday or the day before, can't remember, which is fine. And they're nice and cheerful. I went for like yellows and stuff because I just thought that was quite Eastery, but also nice and cheerful as well. Got the daffodils over there that my mum got given, which they're just kind of going off now. These were the flowers that I gave my mum for Mother's Day. She's kind of thinned them out and they have lasted for like nearly a month. They are starting to go off now. These ones are starting to go brown, so they'll have to go. These ones my mum picked up for herself from Waitrose because she thought they were quite nice and very sort of Eastery colours. The tulips were, I think, from our neighbour. I'm not sure. I can't actually remember where they came from. No, it might be my sister actually. I think it was Becca that bought them. And yeah, they're looking very cheerful and happy as well. So we've got a lot of yellow at the moment on the windowsill, but it's a nice happy colour.
Morning. I am freezing today. Yeah, the weather's kind of turned very rainy and cold and not very nice, but I think it's going to get better again next week, which is good because I really want to go out in my wheelchair for a little walk, and my mum has said she'll come with me to look for some blossom trees and just get a bit of fresh air, but we're going to wait until it's kind of a bit nicer out there. I was up quite early this morning, got up because the next set of the Disney, the Minnie Mouse collection, I can't think what it's called, main attraction collection, pins were coming out this morning at 8 o'clock and they sell out ridiculously quickly. So I was up for that, managed to, well, it says I managed to get them. I never quite believe it until they're here, because I know it's happened in the past where it said that you've got them and then they've had to say, oh sorry, you know, there was an error, or it sold out quicker than we thought and more people got a confirmation than should have and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think I managed to order them by about 2 minutes past 8, and in the next couple of minutes they had sold out anyway. So yeah, quite glad that I managed to get that done. And then I was really tempted to go back to bed after I'd done that, but I just thought, I was up, I'd had to get up to go to the loo anyway, and I was just like, oh, do you know what, let's just carry on. As much as I would love to have gone back to sleep, I just knew that if I did, I wouldn't have woken up until quite late, and then that's half the day gone. So I was determined and I stayed awake. I mean, it's kind of hitting me now, but I just thought, I was out of bed, there's just no point in getting back into bed again. So yeah, got up quite early today, got up, dressed, had my breakfast, and yeah, doing quite well. So long may it continue. Gonna have a little bit of lunch, and then this afternoon don't really have any plans at the moment. Probably have a nap, let's be real. And then I'd like to try and get some bits done downstairs. I've just got so many like little bits that need doing. So yeah, I'd like to try and get some bits done like that, possibly watch a bit of TV. Andrew Lloyd Webber is like streaming quite a few of his musicals on YouTube, and I think each musical is only up for like 48 hours, I'm not sure. I've missed the last two, so I think so far he's put up Jesus Christ Superstar, which I didn't watch, but I have seen that like in a theatre, I think when I was at school. And I've also missed Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which was kind of I did it on purpose basically, because Becca and I have got tickets to go and see it in July. Although it's with a different cast, we've got tickets to go and see it in July. I mean, I don't know whether that'll happen, but hopefully at some point it will. So I didn't want to watch it and kind of spoil that. But yeah, Phantom has come out yesterday, and I've seen that in the theatre before, and I really loved it. It's one of my favourites, and so I did say to my dad, like, maybe we should like sit down at some point and just watch the musical. So I don't know whether we'll get a chance to do that before it disappears again, but I'm kind of keeping an eye and seeing what else comes out and seeing like if there's anything that I'd really want to see, like maybe old musicals that aren't necessarily in the West End anymore. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. There's so much stuff out at the moment, and I've been talking about this to like some of my friends, because a lot of my friends are also sort of like chronically ill and disabled. I know them through sort of charities and support groups and various other kind of ways. So yeah, a large proportion of my friendship group are also like chronically ill and have therefore spent time or are currently housebound or kind of very isolated because of their health. And it is weird at the moment, because like we have spent so long being isolated and housebound, and although I'm not currently housebound like completely, I don't get out very much because of my health. And so yeah, we've spent years, I mean since I was 15, I've spent a lot of those years like this, and a lot of my friends have as well, in varying kind of degrees. And you kind of go through that quite alone. You know, you might have some like close family and maybe a couple of friends around, but apart from that, you get quite forgotten by the world, and you know, you're stuck at home, and there's often not a lot to do. You can't access work. A lot of like it's been really difficult for disabled people to get access to working from home, and sort of flexible working hours. There's not been a huge amount of sort of, I think some of the sort of like communication apps and stuff have definitely been there, but there's just not, people just haven't really known about them or haven't thought to use them. And then there's just been absolutely no access to things like theatre or museums or like gardens or anything like that. It's a pretty lonely and isolated existence. And then all of a sudden the coronavirus happened, and because everybody's at home, everything all of a sudden is kind of geared to people that are stuck at home. And so, you know, you've got musicals streaming online, you've got like Broadway online, you've got plays online, you've got like virtual tours of all sorts of different places, like professional videos of like Disney things, and like parades and all that kind of stuff. Medical care, a lot of that is being put online, obviously online, and on like video conferencing and things like that. So people who have not been able to leave the house but haven't been able to get a home visit are now able to suddenly access, you know, a doctor. A lot of people are now able to work from home because they're having to, and it's just, it's weird, really, really weird. And it's a very, I don't know, it's a very strange position to be in, because part of you feels angry that, you know, we have been asking for stuff like this for years and going unnoticed, and then all of a sudden, when it affects everybody, suddenly it's able to be done. But also, you know, obviously it's nice that it's all now there. And I think one of the main things that a lot of us have said is that we just hope that some of these things will like be kept in place for when things go back to normal for the vast majority, because it's going to be even harder to have seen it all there and to see that it's all possible for it to then be taken away again.
Gonna stay in this moment, gonna lay here on the grass. I don't need to feel lonely.
I spent a lot longer this morning doing stuff to do with editing and stuff than I had planned. I thought, oh, you know, I got up early, I was like getting on quite well, and it just, I don't know, I think just everything just took a lot longer, and I was kind of desperate to get it done, so I just kept going. So I have got my wheelchair tag video scheduled to go up on Sunday, finished editing my weekly vlog, got that exported, made a thumbnail, and that's uploading. I made a couple of templates for my Instagram stories, which kind of wasn't what I'd planned to do, but I would just did that while I was waiting for other things to export and stuff. And I emptied a memory card. Sorry, I'm not really watching the camera and it's going all over the place. Yeah, I emptied a memory card so that I could continue filming on my camera. And yeah, that just took a lot longer than I thought, so I ended up having quite a late lunch, which, yeah, hadn't been what I'd planned. I was kind of hoping that, you know, I'd get like lunch a bit earlier and things would kind of go to, like, you know, to plan a little bit more, but you know, it's not how it works. So yeah, I've had my lunch, and now I'm crashed out on the sofa. There's a lot of sleepy animals in the kitchen. I did like take some footage of them. So Lenny's like curled up on his chair, and he, I think, must be dreaming because his little paws keep like twitching. I don't know why, but I find it so cute when animals dream. Yeah, I love it. I love it when the dogs dream and they do their little like barks in their dreams. I just think it's really sweet. So yeah, Lenny was curled up. Freddie was on the chair, sort of like sunbathing. And then Alfie was on the floor, sort of struggling to keep his eyes open as well. So I was like, you know what? They're all asleep. I'm going to sleep.
Good morning. Please excuse the fact that I'm sitting on the toilet. The lid is down, I can promise you. It's just the only place I could find to sit in here. It's Sunday. I have had my breakfast, got dressed, sorted out my medication for next week, and I'm back doing some more tidying in my bathroom. I'm getting there slowly. I've ended up having to put, so if you watched like last week or the week before, I can't remember, I did one of my drawers and had it all on the floor and was waiting for like a storage thing to come to put in the drawer. I've had to just put everything back in that drawer for now because the storage thing isn't going to come, I think it says it's going to come between like the 1st and 12th of May or something. So I've had to put it away because I can't keep it on the floor for like all that long. So yeah, that's not done, but I'm waiting for the storage to come. So yeah, I'm just moving on to the next bit now, kind of gradually moving around and running out of places to sort out. So I think I'm getting there. I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see, I think I'm going to do one of these drawers, which are pretty packed full of toiletries and makeup and bits like that. So I just want to get it all out, see what I've got, see if there's anything that can go, and then work out where I'm going to put stuff so that, you know, makeup is in my makeup storage and I actually know what I've got and where things are. So that's the plan. I'm just going to do one drawer at a time and see how I get on with regards to kind of time and stuff. But yeah, let's go. Okay, so here is the bottom drawer that I have just pulled out, given it a good hoover underneath as well.
please excuse the dust, because yeah, some of the stuff is a little bit dusty, but I'm just going to take it all out and see what I've got. There looks to be a lot of makeup in here, which some of it I know what's in there, some of it I'm not quite sure, but it would be good to get it out and actually put it in my makeup storage so that I can actually use it, because I know it's there.
I met him on a sunny day in late July, and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire.
Right, that is the first box emptied. I found quite a lot of things that I didn't know I had. So I found a couple of things of tissues, which are always useful. A few bits for like face stuff. A lot of little Nivea body moisturiser, hand cream type things. I think most of these I must have got at Christmas. I think I worked with Nivea, and also I think my mum bought some, because they've all got like little, sorry, the shadows, they've all got little like pictures on them, which are rather cute. Let's see, it's not gonna, there we go, yeah, they've all got lots of different pictures on them apart from one, which I got more recently. So I've got quite a few of those, so I'm good for Nivea stuff, and also found a few hand creams and stuff like that, so that's good. And then some body products. I found this one, which is an aromatherapy, let's put it up here and then I can focus. Yeah, this one is an Aromatherapy Associates De-Stress Muscle Gel, which I'm looking forward to giving a try because I'd forgotten that I had got that. What else did I find that I was interested in? Got a Cowshed body lotion. Got this Elemis thing, which I remember buying ages ago, and then obviously put it in here and forgot about it. It's the Frangipani Moisture Melt. So at the moment it's hard, and then you put it in hot water and it melts, and then you can use it as a like a body oil type thing, and it smells amazing, so I'm definitely going to use that. I found a few like L'Occitane things that I must have got in boxes, which are quite nice because I've not really tried much from them. And I've got a Soap and Glory body butter, which is one of my favourites. A couple of makeup-y bits, so I've got a Bobbi Brown palette, and then a couple of bits from the Rosie Huntington Whiteley collection at Marks and Spencer's. And then there's a few bits over here which are going because they've either kind of gone not very nice because they've been around too long, or I just know that I'm not going to use them. So that's the first box. I've now got the second box out. A lot of this is like toothpaste. Don't judge, I have actually got quite a lot of toothpaste. I got a, what do you call it, an offer, and this toothpaste is quite expensive, so if it's on offer I buy it and then save a bit of money. Contact lenses, that kind of thing. But I'm going to empty this one, and then it means I can also do like a proper clean behind here, so I can pull this right out and get the hoover right in, and then also kind of wipe the skirting board and stuff down as well, which is slightly difficult because I can't get like down onto the floor or bend or anything, so I'm just going to kind of have to do my best. But please can someone remind me why I started doing this? I always get to this point and I just think, oh, why did I do this? But it will be worth it. So I gave up on the tidying, so I'm going to finish that tomorrow. I've had some lunch and I've now made it out into the garden. I've made it up the steps with a bit of help, and yeah, came out to see the blossom tree because the blossom is just starting to go off and I wanted to see it and take a few pictures before it goes off, and it's looking really pretty.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today, and I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my...
Good evening. I just slipped over in the kitchen and nearly broke my hip, so that was good. No, I'm alright. My crutch slipped on like a, I don't know, a little bit of water that was on the floor or something. I don't know what it was. And when you're on crutches and a crutch slips, like, you don't really have it. I don't know, there's no way to really like stop yourself, and you just kind of go. And yeah, I kind of jarred my hip trying to stop myself, which wasn't great, but I'll be all right. Anyway, had a nice time out in the garden earlier. I wasn't out there for a huge amount of time. I just wanted to get outside and take some pictures of that blossom tree before it kind of went off, because it's starting to kind of go a little bit now, so it's not as nice as it was like when it was in full bloom. It's just started to go off, but it still looked really nice. And yeah, took a few pictures of some other flowers that we've got going in the garden at the moment. I found it slightly difficult taking pictures of flowers, because like ordinarily I would try and like bend down or get into like funny angles to try and get them, and even like before my leg surgery I would find that quite difficult. So trying to do it on crutches was interesting. I nearly fell in the flower bed and dropped my crutches quite a few times, but I got a few pictures and enjoyed the sunshine for a bit, so that was nice. Yeah, came in, had a nap, and then we watched the oh, what was it called? All Together. My mind has gone. It was basically like an online concert that was organised by Lady Gaga, well, like curated by Lady Gaga, which was on in America, I think yesterday, and then the UK joined in today with some like extra acts, and it was to support, I think it was like the World Health Organization COVID appeal, and to kind of thank all of the key workers who are on the front lines, putting their lives at risk to keep us safe and fed and healthy. So yeah, no, it was really nice actually, all the different celebrities doing their bits. I always find it quite interesting, like at the moment, because you get to see inside so many people's houses, which is quite interesting. So yeah, it was nice to watch that, and we just had dinner, and now I'm going to just relax on the sofa for a bit and watch some YouTube before I head to bed. I'm feeling quite tired now. But yeah, I thought I would come on and end the vlog because I'm going to go to bed, so it needs ending. I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. If you have and you want to see more, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell, that means you'll get notified every time I upload a video so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, let me know how you're getting on at the moment, what you're getting up to, whether you're out working, whether you're at home isolating. Let me know how you're getting on, and also let me know if there's any videos you'd like to see me do. Also come and follow me on social media. I'm mostly on Instagram, sometimes on Twitter as well. The links are in my description below, but I will pop them up here as well so that you can come over and say hello and have a chat over there as well. And I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!